Can you hear me? Phone scam that's going around right now. Can you hear me now? Is this you? Are you there? If you're asked a question like this in a normal conversation, it's polite to let the other person know that you hear them loud and clear. But if you're asked this at the beginning of a call from a random phone number, you should be wary. If you're asked a question like this in a normal conversation, it's polite to let the other person know that you hear them loud and clear. But if you're asked this at the beginning of a call from a random phone number, you should be wary. That's because these questions are the signs of a fast-growing scam. According to a new alert from the Better Business Bureau, a non-profit that tracks bad advertisements and customer complaints in North America. Since mid-March, there has been an uptick in people reporting that they are concerned about this scam, said Melanie McGovern, the BBB's Director of Public Relations and Social Media. Here's how the scam works. A stranger will start the call asking, "Can you hear me?" to get you to respond yes. They may keep you on the line by pretending to be a government official or a bank representative. But often they hang up shortly after you confirm that you are listening. That's because their goal is to get you to say yes so they know there is a person on the other line. But Amy Nofziger, the Director of Victim Support for the AARP Fraud Watch Network, said that the "Can you hear me?" question on its own does not warrant significant panic. She stressed that there has been no evidence from AARP databases tying a response to the question to cramming or monetary fraud. Nobody in here is saying, "I lost $50,000 in a supposed 'Can you hear me?' scam," she noted. Instead, Nofziger said that consumers should be more concerned about imposter or gift card scams, which are actually known to result in big monetary losses and emotional devastation for victims. So if a caller keeps you
talking beyond that "Can you hear me?" question, there is more cause for concern. Are they asking you for personal information? Nofziger said, are they asking you for crypto ATM? Are they asking for a prepaid gift card? Well, then it's 100% a scam. Here's what to do when you get a "Can you hear me?" call from an unknown number. I've seen people in a panic because they've said yes to someone asking, "Can you hear me?" And we'll have to talk them down, Nofziger said of those contacting the Fraud Watch Network. Scammers win when they get you riled up with fear and anxiety. Because that's when you stop listening to common sense. We don't want people to operate in this fear mode, Nofziger said. We want people to operate in the empowerment mode. So if a random phone call worries you, take a breath before automatically giving some stranger what they want to know. Instead of answering yes when the stranger asks if you hear them, turn the question back on them and state, "Why do you ask?" Nofziger suggested, that way, you take control back of your phone and your device, she said. To avoid oversharing personal information, consider letting unknown calls go to voicemail to verify their legitimacy. Barbara McGovern advises against engaging with suspected scammers, as it confirms your contact information. Legitimate callers will leave a message if it's important, like for a doctor's appointment. Be cautious with your personal accounts and verify any suspicious calls. And now that they know you might respond in the future, the scammer may continue to contact you and then try to trip you up when you're not as focused on what they're saying, McGovern said. A random "Can you hear me?" question should be your first red flag that this unsolicited call could be a scam, said Kelly Richmond Pope, a professor of forensic accounting at DePaul University and the author of A Conversation with a Random Number That Starts with "Can you hear me?"
is suspicious because it's so outside of the typical conversational cycle, Pope said. But before you panic, you should note that the BBB said there have been no reports of monetary losses after these "Can you hear me?" calls. The nonprofit suggested that in a worst-case scenario, scammers may use a recording of you saying yes to authorize charges on your phone. This is known as a cramming scam, where a bad actor crams unauthorized service charges onto your bills once they have your information. You never know how your audio voice of you saying yes can be used. spliced in any kind of call with a bank or call with a credit card company. To open a line of credit, Hope said, "Hey there, folks. So, you know how there's always some new scam going around trying to catch us off guard? This simple tweak can throw off the scammer's script and potentially thwart their evil plans. Secondly, you should always be cautious when receiving calls from unfamiliar numbers. If you're unsure about the legitimacy of the call, hang up and do some research. You can even report the number to the authorities to help prevent others from falling victim. And last but not least, trust your instincts. If something feels off about a call, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Don't be afraid to hang up or ignore calls from numbers you don't recognize. Your safety and peace of mind are top priorities. So there you have it, folks, a few simple steps to protect yourself from the "Can you hear me?" phone scam. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and most importantly, stay safe out there in the wild world of phone scammers.